Good morning, everyone. My name is Heather Aston, and this is my channel, TT's Trinkets and Treasures. Unless you're watching over on Rosanna in Rose's Garden, instead, as I said that I would come on 2 mornings a week and broadcast to both of our channels simultaneously. That way, Rosanna still has new content going up on her channel as well. Either way, I hope you find this entertaining and informative enough that you will want to hit that subscribe button, change the notification bell to all so that you never miss the release of mine or Rosanna's channel. I need a little grace, guys. I need a little grace. I remembered at 9:30 that I was supposed to be coming on at 10 a.m. and managed to pull all this together in that amount of time. But I'm a little frazzled, but it'll be okay. And you all should be happy with me. You guys keep telling me, Heather, you need to wear your jewelry during your videos. You need to wear your jewelry during your videos. So I am today. Quinn, I will put you on the other side of that baby gate if you don't hush. I've also been locked up with dogs for the last 2 days in a little teen tiny room with nothing to do. So that might be a teeny tiny bit of it. I hope you guys will have a great time. Hit that like button and leave me a comment below to let me know what you thought of today's live or if there's something you would like to see in the future. Okay, here we go. Let's say hello to everybody. Let's see who we got. We got Tina. Oh, I missed you too, sweetie. Hi, Leah. Hi, Cindy. Ladies, I will never go live straight from YouTube ever again. You guys, oh my goodness. A few of you came on to let me know that you guys, that Randy was on, which I appreciated. And so I ended my live. But in the 3 short minutes it was up, the onslaught of like negative and vulgar messages that came across, I did not know where I was, what I was doing. I was like, what is this? So I deleted it all. So that means it didn't happen, right? Anyways, from here on out, I will only be broadcasting to YouTube live from StreamYard because that gives me a little extra barrier of stuff. I have no idea, Cindy. Yeah, I'm going live to both mine and Rosanna's channel simultaneously on Tuesdays and Thursdays while she's in Scotland, which she got there safely, everybody. I hope she's still getting some sleep. And I know it pissed you off to me. It made me, yeah. I literally sat there like, what just, like that with my mouth open, not sure what to say, not sure what had just happened, but I will also have to go off camera for a minute for because I take medication in 45 minutes and I can't get off my schedule, especially when I don't know how long we're going to be on. The one positive of having no AC, when Steve went and bought, Steve went and bought a portable AC unit, and when he was moving stuff out of our catch-all, I'm sure you all have an area in the house, our catch-all room and or where I typically heal after surgery so the dogs can't get to me, we found some goodies, y'all. We found some goodies. I don't know if you guys saw my post in Beading Besties, but we found some good stuff. And I have a couple of ideas. What would you guys think about like per weight option for Saturday night? Like where there's a bunch of stuff, kind of like scoops, but I'm going to weigh it so I know it's even. And I was thinking of having 2 or 3 different weights. Let me know what you think about that. I'm going to go down to the mat because I want to show you some of the stuff. For you crossover crafters, oh wait, he's way too far forward. Okay, there we go. I found so many goodies. Oh, I put something heavy on here. Now, I was expecting this to be very light. I don't know why I'm doing. I have 3 tubs of fur pom-poms. And they're the good ones, you guys. In all sorts of colors and in varying sizes. Look at this dusty pink with the black and gray at the ends. That was one of my favorite, y'all. But if you crochet or knit or want to have an obscenely large pom-pom, they're not that bad. But like I said, I have them in different colors and sizes. Look at this color, just like minty brown. It's red. They're so pretty. But you could have these as a zipper pull on your suitcases. I doubt that you would miss your luggage on the carousel after you got there. And then I found, or Steve found, let's be clear. I found 1 tub, but the rest Steve found. Look at all of these coconut shell buttons. Guys, if anybody has any suggestions, please let me know because your girl wants to create with these so much. And like I have them in a whole bunch of different shapes and sizes, little bitty flowers. These ones would be good just for button closures. Yeah, me too, Cindy. I got a little addicted to scoops. I may still be paying off my Scoop credit card from when Randy moved. Yeah. And it's fun to see what other people get too. I love that. I also have some of these that could either be used for like a bolo type situation, or if you sew or make things and want like a button for your shawl, that works too. This isn't all of them. This is just the wood and coconut wood buttons. I have like 4 other boxes this size full of buttons. So I have macrame out the yin yang. Like you would not believe how much macrame I have. Oh, pardon the dust. I also have this huge box of coconut wood beads that I would probably put as like a combo piece. You would get a button and a baggie of these because I don't want to send you something and then you have to go out and buy something else to use it. I know people do it all the time. It just feels wrong to me. So Cindy is over here. Leah is over there. Okay. Yes. And you guys can support both. It's fine. Monday and Fridays, I will be just on my channel. Wednesdays and Saturday nights as well, unless she pops in with me for some kind of planned situation. And then I found a whole bunch of stuff from like the beginning of my craft life. And except for these, you guys. And these have a special place in my heart because I like to make these. Sorry, that's a horrible noise. I like to make the nurses some stuff whenever I have a surgery or whatever. So this has like a stethoscope, the nurses symbol, and then it has this little thing that says, take pride in how far you've come, have faith in how far you can go, but don't forget to enter the journey. I like to make something for my nurses when I'm there. They're not always keychains, but I bought this in like 100 packs, so I have a ton of them. So if that's something any of you like to do as well, Leah, I don't know where you are because I'll see comments on both regardless. So I'm still seeing you, girl. I still see you. Okay. That's funny though. Cindy's over there. Leah is over here. I love you, darling, but that doesn't tell me nothing because over there and over here, I don't know. I feel like I need a little bit more information. And then I found this box. I've not seen this many Sam's Club box bags in a long time. But I had these beautiful pieces that I got. These are like little shell, but they're Baroque. They're not perfect. Some of them you get are like really nice. And others are have a little bit more character, which I'm not mad at. The hole is drilled across up front. Although if you took a, well, no, it might not survive it. I would say you could drill right through that little hole that's already there. But I have a bunch of those, and then I don't have as many of these as I thought I did. There's more in this box, but then I also have some fairy tale flowers in the color, and then I also have some of these. And I'm sorry, this is all screaming to have carnelian put with it. It just is. I made and sold jewelry with that correcting. Oh, it looks like I have some itty bitty teeny tiny little check glass spacers that are the same. But or you could put purple with this. You could put anything you wanted with it, really. But yeah, they're dyed. Oh, and just to show you that your girl's been doing her own head pins and stuff for a hot little minute, this reminded me. And so like I was sitting there and created a note on my phone. It was like, you need to do just a whole head pin video for all the different head pins that I have. But like when I couldn't create when I was healing, this is what I did with my time so that when I came back, I could just sit down and create without it being like hectic and whatever else. So those will be coming. And then this next box, guys, it just made me miss Joanne so much. So there's a bunch of ceramic beads in here. Look at these ones, you guys. Look at those. They're just so pretty. And you know what? I don't think that I fully appreciated these beads before. Hi, Brandy. Hi, Dorothy. I don't think that I fully appreciated these when I have them before, evident by the fact that I still have such a huge box, but I absolutely can now. So I'm very happy about that. Look at these beautiful bicos. These are just like, please herringbone wrap me. Pop, 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 pop. Ooh, these with some of the black crystals, and then these. That might be what we're making today, you guys. Like I said, I forgot I was going live early until like 9:30. So I wasn't able to prep, and I know some of you that drives you crazy. I apologize. I don't know what else to say. But that I'm sorry. I forgot. And then I have a whole other box. If any of you guys use those like the little tool things that guys like to sort all their nuts and bolts in, I have some spacers for the largest drawers of those, and you have to buy them so in bulk that I have tons left over and it's very expensive. So if any of you guys have those, let me know. I'm totally willing to like sell you a few so you don't have to buy them all. I don't know why I put this whole box up on my desk because that's not gonna work. Okay. You know the one Amazon necklace that I made where I told you guys I made all the links earlier. These were supposed to be the tassels. So we're going to have to do some more black and gold Amazonite necklaces because these were supposed to be the pendants. I'm still very happy that I was able to use the cactus because it's gorgeous. But like I could have put this up on the side like the one Rosanna did a while ago and then hung this down from the bottom. But I also have a ton of these, so maybe we just make some Amazonite links like this with these in between and make a cute necklace. So maybe we'll do that today. I don't know. Or I just saw these out of the corner of my eye, and that is like the perfect color. So maybe I do an 8 and 10 millimeter necklace using these and my larger black and gold. So keep track of what I'm putting out that I said we could make so that you can give me your input once I'm done showing you all of the treasures that I came across. But y'all, it really did make me miss going. Like no joke. I have a whole bunch of these, which are just little cross connectors. These are already have a slight bend to them, so they're great for easy, quick put together bracelets. You could straighten it out if you wanted to use this in a necklace, but I have them in rose gold, silver, and gold. I found some plum blossom beads. These were like my thing for a hot minute. Like I use these all the time. So I was happy to find those. See, there was a time when I did keep track of prices. Oh, and you know that I used about 5 of these and then never again. So if anybody likes wire guardians, please let me know. It's not like I'm not trying to be rude. This was a prize from a live sale from Sam's Speed Shop. I'm pretty sure this is Larvacite. Yeah, it is. Look at how pretty that is, you guys. Oh my goodness, that's pretty. That could even look really pretty below the Amazonite right there. And then here's some, I think these are silver sheen obsidian. And then these are carnelian flowers, which I love and have a bunch of. That's another thing that could pop up during the sale. I have these like yellow crystals, which are good for fall and or Christmas ornaments. Ooh, those could be pretty with the black and gold or that carnelian. Because the wash is more of like an orange and purple. Yes, orange and purple on an otherwise like neutral little hexagon bead. Just to have that middle stripe. That's really pretty. Has some moon faces. I found some magnesite. Remember, I just got all the Heishis with this. So I'm excited about those because those go with that. I have my other cactus. I love these seed beads. I got them from Temu and they came in a set with like 8 different colors, and all of them had like a bronze wash to them. I need to find the rest of them because they're my favorite. These got thread all over them, but if you've been with me for quite a while, you remember these, where every single chip bead is wire wrapped on a knotted head pin. He still has some of these guys. So I have an amethyst and a clear quartz. This is thread that got wrapped around it that I need to get off of it. I found some sterling silver Shanghai water chain. Look at these coated moonstones, guys. It says quoted peach moonstone, but this looks like gray. There's a few pieces like that one that look peach, but the rest of them look more gray to me, but they're still beautiful. Oh, goodness gracious. I just completely missed the bag. I'm like sitting there dropping them all out of my hand, and they're just all falling right to the mat instead of in the bag. I have a whole bunch of charms, and I have like 5 of these mixed bags. I can't believe I just did that. I have this gorgeous elephant, which I would have loved to have a couple months ago, but I will still create with it. Has like the prettiest patina to it. I did think that it could be kind of cool to like glue some like diamond, like the diamond art things in here, just to like dress up the little blanket / saddle that's over its body. I thought that could be really pretty if I just went around and just put them in the little swirls and maybe some bigger ones. I don't know. It's just beautiful. It would look gorgeous with red jasper too. So we have that. I have some twisted dream oval beads. I have a whole bag of 31 by 24 millimeter 18 karat gold plated pewter wreath links. They are lead free, nickel free, cadmium free. So I have a bunch of these. If anybody is a fan and missed those, they are links and they're perpendicular links. So one loop is facing you and one loop is facing away from you. They're just like perfect earrings to me. Or a simple little necklace where you have a strung piece on this and then this becomes like part of the focal. I need to paint it. Oh, that's right, Cindy. Oh, Cindy bought. He had one that was a neck. I completely forgot about that, Cindy. Okay, so Bernie also, and he may still have some, but he also had this in a necklace. And you see how like chunky and gorgeous that is? Leah, how did I forget that? Oh my gosh. I have a ton of really nice tassels, Tina, so we can always talk. We can have a little conversation. Oh, yeah, that's right. Also, these moonstone, look at that. The exact same color. Like, this covers all the tones in here. I just have to figure out how to drill it without breaking it. Or another way to like wrap it or something. Maybe I do like some wire links that just connect together. I just don't want to block too much of it. So I would have to make like a little bit at the end I don't know. If you have ideas, let me know because those are beautiful together. That's another thing I'd like to do while Roseanne is out of time or out of town. Out of time. Not out of time. I know that I have more of these somewhere, but they're awesome. They're like leather buttons, which are really good for men's leather bracelets. I made this way back in the day. This was like a whole box. I think it was like a Vegas box or something that they did that was like all red and gold and black. So I made that quite a while ago. And this is totally, in my opinion, gender neutral. I could see a guy wearing this or a girl wearing this easily. And you could always swap out the spinel for something that's not microfaceted. And then it has the black onyx. Wait, those are two different beads. Why is that? I don't know how I did that, but this came from Miss Randy, you guys. It was so great seeing her yesterday. That's why as soon as Gracia and Rosanna popped on to tell me she was live, that and the onslaught of hateful messages, but I popped right back over. And I'm interested to see what she thinks of Whatnot, because I had thought about that too. But here's a beautiful strand of beads that I got from Miss Randy Brown. There's some leather, some tiny flat head pins for when you want to make a bunch of like little wire wrap things like that necklace. Sorry if I'm boring you guys. I hope I'm not. I just wanted to show you some goodies from a blast in the past. This is like all stainless steel wire that I thought, oh yeah, I can wire wrap with it. I might be able to now that I have stronger like tools. See, these are the dividers I was talking about. They still have the protective film on either side of them, but it's like they're for these containers so that you can cut them in half and have room to store more than one item in it at a time. That's what they're for. Oops, sorry guys. Well, thank you, Pixie, for going back where you belong. That was so gentlemanly of you. I found some like half-done projects that I want to show you because, or what is known in the craft world as a WIP, work in progress. That won't take long to finish up. I'm going to pull these out because we're going to make beads out of them. I did get my bead caps from Bargain Bead Box tomorrow. And they put like a little pencil in there. There's just a whole bunch of those nurse things. Where's that other? Oh, here it is. So this is like halfway done. Like just about everything is wire wrapped. I just hadn't put it together yet. But it would look really pretty with this howlite. Oh, you can't see. Back it up. It would look really pretty to like lighten it up. Throw in some like links that are just like 2 or 3 of these stacks. So yeah, I didn't get any of it yesterday. We just had a whole bunch of people pop on. Good morning, Delon and Cheryl and Cynthia. In case you're a little confused, while Rosanna is on vacation. I will be going live on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And for those lives, I will broadcast to both of my channels. Just so that she still has content uploading to her page. So and Beth is doing Mondays and Fridays. I'm not saying that, but we just want to keep the algorithm going while she's out of town so that her stuff keeps popping up. I have some of these, I think these were from the Brittany Chambers box that Sam Speed Shop put out a while ago. Anyways. Oh, and I found some 3-needle chain from Nile. I think that's what he calls it. I'm not sure how to use it, but I'm a crocheter, so I'm sure I can figure out how to attach an end to it. I'm not sure. I do a bunch of stuff. And you guys, I found so much lamp work. Look at that. That looks like fluorite. It's so pretty. It's like light green with purple. It's like a little heart. There's an oval one that's like that. So, yep. So we have fun stuff to create with. And I figured that this is kind of right up Rosanna's alley, as she likes to post when she has finds. But you guys, I also have a whole room on the other side of that wall that has yarn and macrame tools and like picks, flowers, and like leaves and stuff in that room that's been sitting there for years. So that's why I said put up the post for all my crossover crafters, meaning that you do more than one, and sometimes they cross over into one project with both of them. That's what that means. But yes. Yes, Lena, is. If there's something that you're like, oh, I gotta have that, let me know. Looks like I missed Valerie. I'm so sorry, Valerie. Make sure I didn't miss anybody else. Cheryl, hello. Dot, thank you. The shell with those coated moonstone. I went back and forth about that moonstone. I ordered it. I actually ordered more than one bag. And then it got here and I wasn't sure how to use it. And again, that's from like 3, maybe even 4 years ago. I'm much better at using things that I wouldn't tend to gravitate towards that comes in bead boxes. And that's like some of the best advice I can give is when you get a bead box that you don't like the theme, you don't like the color scheme, you don't, stop looking at it as an entire collection. I did that with the December bargain bead box this last year. I recommended, because a lot of people were upset that it wasn't Christmas color, although their cabin one for November was meant to be their Christmas, New Year, whatever box. And so I started by making a very simple pearl necklace that I said I could very confidently and easily sell this pearl necklace for $25. I could probably get more for it. That just paid for the box. Now pull things apart out of the box. And if you have to do that by not sorting it the way you normally would, or by like not having it all out at the same time, maybe put it away, like the bead strands. If you have an Amazonite box or whatever, pull the Amazonite out and stick it in that box. and then look at what else you have, stuff like that. And by the end of that month, I had like 30 some pieces of jewelry, and that was when I only got one box. So that's my biggest advice for you. And I'm saying that just because it got brought up that they didn't like the box when it first came out. So yes. Okay, you need to finish taking pictures and post them. Yes, thank you. I do too. That I hope you're talking about the black and gold cactus necklace, black and gold amazonite with the red jasper. Oh my gosh. That is probably the most colorful piece I've made in a moment, and it's one of my favorite. I've made it a long time, so I love it. Cheryl, I hope I didn't miss you. Valerie, hello, hello. Everybody is different. You like the blue flowers? I have a bunch of them, so it's not like but hello, everyone's here. I'm back. I'm late, had 2 doctor's appointments. It's okay. I'm on an hour earlier than normal, Lynn, so we're good. Cindy, I doubt I will use all of those blue flowers, so we can always talk. I told Lynn, yes, it is for sale. Yeah, I have to be really, yes, exactly, Cheryl. Exactly. That's exactly what I do. And your local store, bead shop. You guys know that I'm a fan of going down to Bernie's and grabbing things that I think will go with it and finding absolute treasures. And I want to show you guys something in just a second. Like, where did it go? There it is. I want to show you this chain on this. I don't think I showed you. Oh, wrong one. I'll show it down on the mat because it looks better. Hold on. For that kind of thing. Let me show you. So the way that I finished this one, I wanted it to still be gender neutral in case somebody wanted it. So the chain, I took like 3 different sized copper jump rings that I made. So this is the second step. This is the first step. This is the third step. And then these are I made made using one of my new mandrels, and they're 10 millimeter jump rings. So there's that one. But the one I was just referring to, which is this one, like these beautiful piece that I found down at Bernie's, that goes with everything very nicely. And then another piece that I went ahead and finished Saturday before or Sunday morning, and then it was too hot, so I forgot to post it. I did go ahead and finish this with black leather, and I love it. I know that we went back and forth if it should be natural or brown leather or this or that. I did not like the brown and the braided bolo tie, but when I just pulled out the 3 millimeter natural black leather cord, I love the way that it looks. I don't think that it's too dark for the rest of the necklace, as the pendant itself has so much black patina in it. So I really like the way that it turned out and it finished. It allowed me to use those little flowers. I have it up. Do I have that? No, it just flipped backwards. Okay, I thought I had something upside down. But I love the way that it looks with the black leather. So yes, that white stone is stunning. I know. I have like 3 people who have already messaged me saying, when you go down to Bernie's, can you call me so I can see what else he has? So yeah, and I showed some other stuff in the beginning. I was working on doing some crochet. What I want to do is like put metal beads on, and then I just want it to be just big enough to go over the edge. And the reason for that is because I think that that's easier, will be easier to teach than it would be, uh, because you don't have to know how to crochet a teardrop in order to do something. You need to know how to crochet a straight piece with two very simple stitches, and then you can just put it around, feed wire through it on the front and the back, pull that tight, and then twist those wires up to make your bail. So it might sound complicated, but I promise you that it's absolutely not at all. So I know, Leah. Me too. They already have like Halloween and some Thanksgiving stuff out, which is crazy. I mean, I know we have to make for the next season, but it still like throws me. So, aw, thank you, Delon. Thank you, Lynn and Cheryl. Yeah, I was really happy with the way that one turned out. So, I'm going to try to get better about just posting my pieces like the day that I make them. So, I don't have to go back and pull out a bunch of stuff later. Okay, hold on real quick. I'm going to go take my medicine real fast. Just a moment. Oh, that is not what I want to do. Sorry about that. We're all good now. I don't know what happened. There we go. Oh, speaking of, Cheryl, you were talking about one of these when you said you wanted one with all the black striping. Are these the ones you were talking about? If so, I'll lay them out for you later. Okay, so what should we start with? Should we start by herringbone some of these? I did not do this as a bargain beat box video specifically because, okay, we're picking up my new car tonight. Oh, Lynn, I'm so happy for you. She had some car issues over the weekend. I'm so happy to hear that. We can play with this. We can pull these out and pull out some black and gold Amazonite because I think those could look really pretty with it. Or we can still use stuff from Bargain Beat Box. I just didn't want to make it specifically that video because I knew it was going to have a bunch of stuff for me in the beginning, and I didn't want people to get upset. So just in case you're wondering about these tassels, several years ago, Sam bought a whole huge stash of brios, like so many. And they came with two tassels on either side, and I bought a ton of them, like too many. And some of these beads are like these ones are $3 a piece. These are some beautiful faceted moonstone kites, which are drilled across the top right there. I had two strawberry quartz and somehow forgot it. I have some lighter ones and some darker brios. These, you guys, look at that black obsidian. Or onyx. Sorry, it's black onyx. It's right there, Heather. Those ones are ones that were like $2 a piece. This is one of the two lemon quartz that I have. And I think I have the wrong lids on the wrong. And then I have like these beautiful, I don't know what you would call this, a hexagon, a trapezoid, I'm not sure. But like if you guys wanted one of these for a necklace with two of these for earrings, you can always reach out. I have amethyst. I believe this is aquamarine. Yeah, that one's aquamarine. That is just stunning. This one is rose quartz, but like beautiful icy pink. I have some labradorite ones. Like I said, I have some amazonite that are really pretty. These are the labradorite ones. They have so much flash. They're so pretty. There's lapis, blue boulder opal, smoky quartz. These are spinel. So pretty. So pretty. Oh yeah, I have those like kite beads or what he called them, I believe. I have those in gray moonstone. I have, again, these could be used for earrings. They could be paired with those peach moonstone. This is also the shape that the lemon quartz was, in case you couldn't see that on camera. Or you can pair them with these little brios. I have this gray moonstone that is like a light, wait, that's moonstone? Yes, gray moonstone. That's a lighter gray. Then they have these as mixed moonstone. It's the way that they describe them. Same with these. They didn't say gray or peach. They just said they just had like mixed. Whereas these specifically said gray moonstone. These specifically said peach moonstone. Let's put this back on the lemon quartz. And then the most expensive and tiniest beads in this whole box. Are you ready? Blue topaz. They're so gorgeous, you guys. They have a pointy little drop at the top. They're absolutely stunning. Love these. Love these. Okay. No, Cynthia, the reason for that, and I can put it up on the screen, is because I went live to both Rosanna's and my channel at the same time. So some of you may be on Rosanna's channel and some of you may be watching it on my channel. And that's why you're not getting all of the comments. But I can always do this and make it I don't know. Do you guys like it wide like that or tall? So it doesn't take up as much of the screen. Buying a car nowadays is crazy. Yes. You want what, Lynn? Okay. So do we want to do an Amazonite piece? Oh, anyways, more about that. I then went and put copper wire around them. I like the way they looked with that better than, because the little strings on them. You're going to see just how many of those that I purchased, and probably even guess which tassels were on which. So I saved every single one of them. These I think I got from Randy, or they were in a bead box. But like this one for a Christmas one. This is one that I made. I like that. But most of these are from those brios. So they either had like thread here, or they had, and some of them I had to go in and re-jumping them so that we didn't have to use the silver if it was a gold or a copper piece. So I would just like slide it in through there, and then I just wrap down here. Now I have markers, so I would just paint this. But like these were on the smoky quartz, of course. These were on some, I can't remember those. But yeah, these are great for like a quick and easy pair of earrings. And if anybody, I would have to practice some first, but I could show you how to make very simple tassels. Actually, you get like 2 in 1 with the way that I do it. But anyways, ow, there was something pokey on that. That's the other reason. Yeah, a lot of them came on that like wire we all hate so much. But yeah, so I have a lot of tassels. And you might say, oh, but they're going to be misshapen. Put a blow dryer on them for about 2 minutes and they're fine. They're perfectly fine. So hi Gracia. Oh, the little blue ones, yeah. We'd have to talk. Those are I believe those are AAA or 4A sky blue topaz. So all right, Delon, go have some sleep. Okay, we'll do, Delon. Okay. I use the head pin sometimes. All right. We can put this together and maybe lighten it up a little bit with the white, the faux white turquoise. Or we can do an Amazonite piece. We could also herringbone wrap some of these. These would be a really pretty central stone on a bracelet that are like wire wrapped, and then you could just do very simple beads down and around you. It would depend, but you might even be able to like take these and put them on memory wire, herringbone around them, add the pieces up, and then add the little like balls at the end. And if you don't have the like beadle-on ones, you can always use a bead and glue it on the end. The second one's a little bit trickier, but not impossible to do. So we can also pull out the other blue, or we can make the other necklace. And we can even pull these brown flowers over. I have a total of 5 of those. Like I said, these are all wrapped. Oh, these are blue peanut beads, check glass peanut beads. I was like, what are those? So you can see if you wanted to step these up a little bit, you could put bronzite in between these, which I just happen to have some very beautiful bronzite. I don't know if Beth's watching, but Beth, these with the bronzite would be gorgeous. Let's see what people think. Nobody knows. Is everybody okay with that message, with the message being there? Does that help? Cynthia, does that make it easier, or are you watching on your phone? So it's itty bitty. I made it as like the text as large as I could. So I hope, regardless of whose channel you're viewing from, if you wouldn't mind heading over and at least giving me a thumbs up, I'd greatly appreciate it. But this is also for Rosanna. So and then we have these purple. Yeah, I would not be at all surprised if you bought this strand from Joann's back in the day, because all the different purple shades of purple. Okay, thank you, Cynthia. I appreciate that. Okay, good. I'm glad. I appreciate that. I'm glad that it's better. Thanks for letting me know. I appreciate it. That's what I was trying to say with all that. I think when I might pull these blues back in, but oops, I have 6 of those. Okay, cool. Those with red jasper, these aren't going to go far. They're going to sit right here. I used to have this in these in bronze as well, but I don't think that they're all that different. So I think these bronze flower beads would go very nice with either this Amazonite or this Amazonite as the focal. And if we even wanted to do like a ridiculously long center, we could, or we could put this up on one side. And Cynthia, if you missed the beginning, I showed off a whole bunch of really big coconut wood buttons. If you have any ideas on how to turn these into jewelry, I would be so appreciative of your suggestions. And I have all of those as well, which are just a little bit too big. I was hoping I'd be able to put them together. But I've been going through all my stuff because we're just going to have like a whole stash sale kind of thing. I think I want to do the turquoise. The only thing is I don't know that I want it to just be by itself. Like these kind of tie into that. Let's see here. We have these bronze. Like I said, I have bronzite. And there was also some other bronze beads in that little container that I just had in my brain is I also have these like window check glass brown beads. So do we just do like a monochromatic design? Not mono, a very neutral design with maybe just a little something something. I have those, or I have these brown, or these blue, sorry. Okay, so we want to keep the blue as part of the color story. Okay, great. I'm going to move these up here so they're not in our way. We have the cactus, so we could do maybe, I don't think I have enough of these bronze, but I have other bronze beads. I have actual smoky quartz we could throw in here as like the in-between color. Oh, we have these white. Duh. So we could stack those. Maybe undo one of these and see. You know, they're a long time ago. They have a triple wrap loop. And these are simple loops, which I don't use. So, yeah. I wonder what these would look like in between those, but I'm only going to find out if I actually cut the strand. So, let's do that. My ruler away. Move that so there's a spot for my coffee and nothing's in my elbow zone. Oh, you guys, I had to scoop things up very quickly because, again, I forgot that I was going live an hour earlier, but I went into my link box right here. I also have pearls, so they're already wrapped as well. But I went in here to pull out links to finish this, and I just pulled out these really small perfect opal or oval links. You guys, these are little. These are like 6 millimeter. I had some that I made one that I finally found my caliper and measured. It was 3 millimeters. How I did that, I have no freaking clue. I probably couldn't do it again if I tried. But I had originally had those were still out, and I was going to pick that up before I went live. Okay, let's see here. We want bronze wire or gold wire. Probably gold wire. I might change my mind on that. Actually, how many are there in here? I was going to glue these together later, but 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and 1. Cool. I also, you guys didn't even think of it. If you didn't want to just make a bead out of these, you can also glue them like that to make like a double bead cap moment. But yes, perfect for purse charms. Yes, exactly. What was Gracious' idea? Now I need to go see. How about a purse charm line? Ooh, yeah. It would be good. Hi, Beth. Hope the doctor went well. Hon, if the doctor said that's awesome, Cynthia. She wears bracelets made with elastic, individual buttons sewn onto the. That's cool. Those beads are like pendant size, though. But yes. That is true, Grisha. You would want to put some like colorful beads with it. That's what I was saying. Like, if you are going to be traveling, and this isn't even like shooken out. Like, if I take it, because you don't know how to fluff out a pom pom, that is how. Look at how huge it is. You could put this on your suitcase, and I have them in like, I have really bright pink ones. I have so many different ones that like you would know when your bag came around the carousel. So, like I said, that's some of them have loops like this. Some of them have smaller loops that are like the elastic is really thick. Some of them have buttons. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know where the other half of the button is, but you can still use a needle and thread to attach that to the top of a hat, or you can stick a long needle through it to create something. But like this one doesn't even really have to be fluffed for very long. I've got 3 big tubs of them. So if you are a crossover crafter, the 6-inch ones are now going for $10 to $12 a piece. I will not be charging you that because that's like crazy town to me that people are charging that much for a single pom-pom. Blows my mind. But no, I think I do want to go ahead and pull out the bronze wire. Let's see. I have it in 22 millimeter and 20 millimeter. We'll use this. Okay, I want to use. Beth should like this piece. It's her color story. So, when I was thinking of this, maybe we could put. Not sure about that, but we could also do it. That's not bad. That adds some texture. Let me see beyond another wing. What do you guys think? Do you like the peanut beads, or should we just use the faux white turquoise? Because I also have the flowers that we could use as our pop of blue. I don't like it with it like that at all. I don't like that at all. I'm okay with this. If it helps tie in the blue flowers to the rest of the piece. I also have these in rounds. I have rounds in this color. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. So I have this blue color. Doctor was pretty good, allowed out of sling unless going out in public. Da, 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 da. Okay. And Beth, if you're hurting, another idea, honey, is to just lay out a piece on your bead mat, like your little necklace board or whatever else. Explain the design process, why you chose which beads where, all of that, so that you can still show us in a design you created without like having all of the motion of turning your wire and all of that. So that was another idea I was going to give you. But there you go. Okay, let's see. Can't do any lifting. Yeah. That's what. That's good. Okay. I've made them man style. So hit me up if you need help. Okay. You do a beautiful job. You like bead. I don't know what bead you're talking about. Try 3 on each side. Okay. I think that will make the link really long though. That is pretty though. And I undid this link. I have like, let me see how many of these links I have. I have a good amount of these. So we could break these down and just do maybe smaller links. Maybe just do like this as a cute little link in between. You like it with the 2 beads? Yeah, I think I like the 2 beads over the 3 beads, but we could also, like I said, make just smaller links like this. Let me see what other people said. Okay, I have oh my god. Almost as bad as, trying to put beads back into a Ziploc bag and having them fall right onto the bead mat instead of going in the bag, which happened earlier. I have my little bench block right in front of my laptop, and I'm like sitting there with my finger and being like, why isn't the mouse moving? Why isn't it moving? Because I wasn't using the mouse. I need to get this out for further, or I'm going to do it again. I feel like I'm heat over. Like instead of a hangover, I'm dealing with heat over still. Skin looks so nice. It's very pretty. I have no clue, but I will get it. I'm using black beads. There you go. Yes, they are glass peanut beads. The blue, yeah. As you can tell, I bought several bags when they had them. Okay, I think I like this as kind of like the spacer between this floral bead and these floral beads. But I will I'll redo them because I don't like that. I don't like some loops. And that is way more metal than you needed for that. Okay, let's find our 6-step bail making pliers. So all of our loops are the same. There's my micro round nose, my crimpers, my cutters, my other. The one day I don't reset is the one day everything's not just sitting right here. Dang it, dang it, dang it. I can use my micro. I just like to know that all of my... Oh, I know why I can't find it. Because my old one... We can test to see if the super glue is going to hold this until... You guys, Rosanna even sent out the covers before she left town. Okay, 1 loop, 2 loop, 1 loop, 2. Let's go with 1. I mean, first step, sorry. Okay. It's going to go, and I will demonstrate that. And we're going to do these assembly line style. I just want to see what it looks like on the wire real quick. I like all the other tools, and I will use the 6-step veil making plier from Beadsmith. I'm just so used to the way the other one feels in my hand. It's all fun. So, beautiful Rosanna put it in the mail before she left town, like a little sweetie. The little sweetie that she is. There it is. I was like, okay, what are we doing now? She's the bestest. I couldn't believe that she did that. Mm-hmm. I could probably get another out of the wire, but still here. Maybe just one of the flowers, but that's a lot of wire to just wait. Okay. Yeah, I really like that a lot. That's gonna look really pretty. So it would be like this, these, so on and so forth. So we gotta cut these open so we can get them off the old wire. And this is really thin wire that it's on. It's probably 22, if not, I think it's 22 gauge. And I like to use at least 20 gauge on my necklaces. My preference lately has been 18 gauge just to make sure like it's good. They're good. I just almost cut that one back open. But okay. Get rid of this wire off my mat real quick so it doesn't look completely a mess. Okay, so I have these beads right here with the peanut beads. There, I have all of my flowers up here. We probably won't use these window beads. We're not going to use these. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays, guys, when I'm broadcasting to both channels, those will just say the beads and things because I don't want it to get confusing me putting my bargain bead box videos on Rosanna's channel. So I'm just going to, those days we'll just be doing something from the stash, or if I do use anything from the bargain bead box, I will put it in my bargain bead box playlist. And then Rosanna can do what she will with it. She got safely to Glasgow. She was very sleepy. She sent Beth and I a message that they got there safe and sound, but are very tired. So okay, so when I do my pieces assembly line style, I like to cut a good amount of like little wire, pieces of wire, and then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do all of my bends at the same time. And if you want to make sure that it's a really good bend, you can just push down on it And then all of those are done. And then this next part will vary dependent upon your particular taste. You can either just turn the loop and put it aside, which is what I'm going to do. If you cut yours a little bit longer than I did, you can just push that around with your finger. I like to use my pliers, and so I will do that after I make all of the loops. And this really is faster. I've timed myself, and even all the blunders that happen when you know you're timing yourself, it was still faster. I might have bent these too short. They're definitely too. There's enough wire to turn the loop. I just don't know why I did that to myself. I might have to cut more pieces because that was not smart of me. If I was just doing these like off camera, it would be fine. But trying to do all of this and stay under camera, but not over the comments in the corner, might get a little bit tricky, but I will give it my best attempt. And if it's not working, I will just cut more pieces of wire and put these to the side because I probably use them later today. Okay, all of my loops are done, so now I'm just going to grab on. See, that's what I was afraid of. I only go just around the back, which I find it's still easier to do this while it's on the mandrel. There we go. It might work. It might work, especially because I like to pull my wire a little bit tight so that I have the best shape possible. I wasn't doing these show length, and there is a difference between assembly line when I'm doing it live with you guys and when I'm just doing it myself. And if you are a content creator, I was having a hard time, I don't know, like a month or so ago, coming up with new designs. And I didn't know why, but I had an idea, and just to, feel like I was taking control, I did said design off camera, which I had not done. I don't know what the heck was happening, but and I was surprised because I started being like flooded with ideas, and I think it's because, sorry, that was not going to go around well on the loop itself. I had all of these ideas flooding my head, and I was able to sit there and like write them down or sketch them out, which I can't do when I'm under camera. Hi, Mary. Hope I didn't miss anybody else. No, this is going to be a necklace, but if you guys would like me to do a purse charm after the necklace, that takes like no time at all. You guys will like them. Even if you were to grab one of those like pom-poms and want to use that as like a suitcase, like zipper pull so that you knew which suitcase was yours, it's still pretty easy. Mary, are you a crossover crafter? Do you crochet or knit or anything like that? Hi, Willow. Sorry if you got confused on the time. On Tuesday and Thursday for the month of August, I will be going live an hour earlier on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Okay, this one is definitely too short to do on camera, but we can get started with these right here. Oh, quick squirrel. I want to tell you guys something. Okay, over the weekend, we ended up selling the last little puppy from the litter that we had a couple months ago. But I want to tell you something. I give 10% off for veterans, teachers, nurses, and first responders. 10% off. No matter how small, like my puppies are normally $2,500. She was priced at $1,250. So he was a veteran, would have gotten $125 off. But they wanted me to hold the puppy until the 1st of September, is what they originally said. And they said, we will forego the $125 veterans fee. And I was like, okay. And then they told me, oh, but we actually won't be there until September 18th, which is 6 weeks, not like it's 40 days. And so Steve said, just figure something out. It'll be okay. And I was like, nope, that's 6 weeks of puppy food and bathing and all of those things. And so I stood up for myself and I sent a message back and I said, I looked up the average boarder fee in my area as well as in Wyoming, and it's between $35 to $40 a day, which would be $1,600. So this more than what they were paying for the dog. Now, I didn't expect they're a lovely older couple who RV around the country, and they will be swinging through and picking her up while they are here in Benson, Arizona, which I guess they stay within an RV park there once or twice a year, everything else. And they had lost a puppy not that long ago that was a Maltese poo. And a Maltese poo is when one of the parents is a purebred Shih Tzu and the other is a Maltese poo. And it is almost solely what I breed now. And I get people from all over the U.S. saying, oh, the last one we got was 2 of our friends decided to breed their dog together, and we've been looking everywhere for another Maltese poo, but haven't been able to find one. So mine generally are flown around the country with the puppies. But I stood up for myself, and I was like, now, do I expect you to pay me more for boarding than I do for the dog itself? No, I don't. I said, but my time is worth more than $1.13 or $1.30, whatever it came out to be. I think it was 13 cents because it was like $3.12.5. And I said, it needs to be more than that. And so Steve was like, oh, dang, we're going to lose the puppy sale, blah, 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 blah. They came back and said on top of the veterans fee, foregoing our veterans fee, would $400 be enough for the boarding fee? which I agreed to. And she's now been adopted. They love that her name is Sugar. Every which way to Sunday. They really wanted a snuggler, everything else. So it's very difficult. And I'm bringing this up because some of you want to sell your jewelry. Some of you have ambition to do so. You need to be able to speak up for yourself. The money conversation is the hardest part of it for me and several of you, because we don't want, maybe it's just me. It makes me uncomfortable. It's the worst part of it with the puppies, all of that. So I just want to tell you that you need to stand up for yourself, because we got an extra $525 for boarding her for the next 6 weeks. So I'm just saying, like, you got to stand up for yourself when it comes to selling your jewelry. Don't let somebody come to your booth or your page or your whatever and ask you, well, would you take this? And say you have it posted for $25 and they come back and say, well, I'll pay you $15. That's almost half off. And which means that you'll be lucky if your supplies are covered, and you maybe squeak out $1 or $2 for yourself. Don't let that happen. Make sure you stand up for yourself. If the person really does love your piece, they will be willing to, at a minimum, come up with a barter situation or something of that nature. Plus, there's Afterpay and Affirm and all of these other ways. And you can send an invoice via PayPal, and they can use Affirm there or Afterpay there. Send them a Square invoice. They can use it there. So there are many ways that you can do it where, and Leah gave me this advice too. She said, Heather, stop just trying, if you're having a hard time with like putting your stuff out there and like being like, no, I need to make money on this. You need to finish building out your Square website and post that up, because then everybody knows what it's going to cost before they ever did anything. But my message there was, please stand up for yourself. Don't let someone else undervalue your piece of art and time like that. So, love you all. I don't want you to do that. Just in case any of you are uncomfortable with the money aspect of it, I thought I would share the story as a little bit of inspiration. So, and one more puppy is not like a big thing. So, yeah. Yeah, exactly, Cheryl. Exactly. And Leah, I like 3, girl. I like 3. Sorry, that's like a little inside joke between the two of us. Anyways, back down to the mat. I just wanted to share that and hopefully inspire some of you. Okay. We're going to put 2 peanut beads on. One of the magnesite. Leah's a 2-snap girl. I'm a 1-snap kind of girl. Look at all this room I have left to do the loop on the other side. I could have made my bends longer and still had plenty of room for the other side. That's why it's that first loop on like assembly line style links that I'm always like, okay, well, am I going to have enough room for all the beads I want, or, to make the loops? And yeah, I had plenty of room. And you might see that these beads have kind of like scoot down. It's okay. It's still faster to do it this way. I promise. And I know I didn't clip the ends. I like to do that afterwards because once the beads are there, you can generally like bend it a little, like you can bend that little bit the rest of the way around. I'm not making any sense. I'll show you what I mean once I'm done. But no, I didn't forget that I had beads on the other side. Again, I'm broadcasting to Rosanna's channel too. So if you feel like you're missing messages, it's because whoever's message you're missing, they're on the other channel. So so that's why I have the chat up on the screen. I also posted a video of all of the wire components that I made last week during my lives into one video. Leah was such a sweetie. I truly do hate listening to myself on camera. So I said, hey, if I upload this and set it to private, can I send you the link? And will you watch it? She was the one who asked for the video. This is why I reached out to her. But I was like, will you watch this? And like let me know whether or not I'm staying on camera well and whatever before I put it live for everybody. And she said, absolutely. And she did that. I didn't expect her to get to it this weekend because of her car issues, but she did it. I don't know that I'm going to need quite this many of this link. So I'm going to start making loops because I need to wire wrap those two. The flowers look to be done on 18 gauge wire. So I'm going to leave those as simple loops for now. I may go back and take them and rewrap them after I'm done with the video. But it looks like I bent this. There we go. And I'm just going around and doing this part right now. So I don't have to. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I have 4 for each side. And I always go through and like straighten my loops before I sell it. Sometimes I do it in the videos. Sometimes I don't. I do it afterwards, especially for a video like this, where the first hour was kind of showing you the goodies I found, Steve found this weekend because of the issue. Plus, he is such a sweetie and was like, I could take it back after it's fixed, but instead, your bead room is so hot. Why don't we just keep it and set it up in your bead room so that it's cooler in there for you? Which, if that doesn't show you what a sweetie my husband has, the fact that it was like, a like $400 unit. Get that one straight. Cutter. Okay. I am like using my fingers to straighten the loops right now, so that at the end of the video, when I show you guys things, it looks the way it should be. But I will go back and make sure all of my loops or all of my links are straight. This is something that drives me crazy though, so I have to fix it now, which is just when a loop is off center. I don't like the way it looks, like at all. So, but yeah, I told her the same thing, Beth, about because my son-in-law is the finance manager at a dealership in California. So, but I think, unless I misunderstood, I think the deal's already been done and they're just cleaning it up for them before they go get it. But I could be incorrect. Okay. We need these babies put up on wire real quick. That is 22 each. Let's see. See, I told you I use scraps. This feels like 18 gauge wire. So I wonder if I do in fact have this in 18 gauge. Oh, this didn't get trimmed. I was like, why is the bead not sitting on the wire correctly? To the end of the little but if any of you guys are crossover correctors, let me know. Like I said, I have Sonia was like, I want all the macrame stuff. And I said, hun, all of the macrame stuff was at least 2, if not $3,000 my cost 5 years ago. And like much of it is organic copper. Macrame cord and stuff like that. Your girl, the easiest way to explain it is your girl's a picky bitch. That's just the easiest way to say it. Like, I don't know how else to just. Why did you just cut those short? Oh, it's not factoring in the length of the bead. I was like, oh, it's just one bead. But I must have 18 gauge bronze wire in there. Steve must have got that when he bought my gold and silver wire. He went and bought all the sizes of my gold, silver, and then whatever bronze wire I think they had. I also posted my magical crimper video. I did go ahead and put that up. And so you can see real time just how shocked I was by the fact that the one crimper made such a huge difference. Like, I was blown away the first time. So you'll get to see that, like, I was very happy. I have since found out that all three of the ones I tested are in fact made by Beadsmith under the same patent. So they must have just done what the industry calls white labeled it. So, like, if you get the Wire Elements wire from Hobby Lobby, I think it's called On the Wire. That's they like, but then when you take that packaging off, underneath it, it still has the Wire Elements information. Let's slow that down a little bit. Sorry. I know I'm off camera right now. I'm just tying or wrapping loops, but I'm trying to do it quickly since, I don't know, watching somebody do that sounds like watching paint dry. So okay. So I'm just going through and I'm going up, over, and down, bringing the wire back under. I like to pull on my wire to make sure I get the best looking loop possible. And I just pull it back around until it gets back to where the loop was originally made. And then I trim on the sides so that there's not really a back or a front. Some beads there will be a back, there will be a difference regardless of what I do, because maybe it's a one-sided bead or something, but yeah. Those are perpendicular. There we go. Two more, and then I will cut some quick jump rings, and we will assemble this necklace. But considering most of the first hour was me showing all the stuff that I found in my stash this weekend, the fact that I've done this in about an hour's time, start to finish, I'm pretty darn proud of myself. Oh, I have one more flower to do. And see, I hear you, Heavenly Father. You gave me this talent. I can't be braggadocious about it. Okay, one more piece of wire. Mm-hmm. I had a red tube right there. It was either God or my mom, so they gave me that little bit of a. Now wait a minute. Okay, let me see if I do in fact have 18 gauge bronze wire over here, and then I have boxing on top of my wire. It's not supposed to be there. Okay. I really don't want to just use. That's 22 gauge for sure. This is 26 gauge bronze wire. Maybe they didn't have 18 gauge. Okay. So I don't have any antique bronze in anything above the 18 gauge, but I have this antique. I have this wire. I have the one you showed, which you find the best here in Holland. That is the only one. That's interesting, Mary. Huh. Thank you, Mary. You're so sweet. It's okay. They remind you of blue bonnets? Yes. Okay. Make sure. Oops. Um. Yeah, Mary, you're not seeing everything. That's why I put the comments up on the screen. But if you're watching it, then it's all good. Okay. Okay. So I'm just going to use this bare bronze wire because as it patinas, it will become that color. So, and it's not as gold as it might look on screen as it is in person. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to twist some. I think I want two step, the second step. Yeah. Plus, this bare bronze wire is half is as strong as like stainless steel, German style, half hard. However, you would explain it. That's the other reason that I always say the multiple names of things, because most of the time when I find something, it's because I changed like the words in the search bar. So like oops. They're like, I'm trying to think what I was going to just use as an example. That did not cut all the way. I do not know what is going on there. Why won't this cut? Um, I'm going to get my heavy duty cutters out because this wire is very thick. You are having a hard time cutting like larger wire, put the bottom handle up against your bead mat and use that as leverage. Then you're not having to squeeze both sides with just your hand. The mat provides the tension on the other side of your cutters. So it goes a lot smoother this way. What am I doing? Aren't we supposed to be using the blue beads, the blue flower beads that are already connected or that have simple loops on them in between? I believe we were. I have some. I cut more if we need them, but that's what I believe the original plan was. I do want to wire wrap my cactus. I think I'm going to do my knotted. You know what? No, I'm not going to use my knotted spiral. That is not long enough. Okay. I can either just do a spiral like the ones I found in my box, or we can knot it. I'm going to see which one. I'm going to leave enough room for the wire to go through, and I'm just going to begin the turn of the spiral, like just begin, because otherwise I can tighten this in a little bit since this gauge wire isn't as, that's what I mean about skipping. Okay. And then just slowly wind it around. I'm just going to go to the second, a full second. Now, obviously, this would be centered underneath the cactus. It wouldn't just be, no, I want to do it knotted. Okay, we've got the pliers here. We have the second step. We're going to bend this down and then up and around in the direction we need it to go through the spiral. I like to pull mine down as far as I can with my hands, and then I go and I make sure that the spiral is completely flat up against the nylon pliers. And then I just finished pulling it through. Now, if you use a thicker gauge of wire and this isn't completely flat, while it's still in your nylon jaw pliers, you can come in and kind of push it down. And now that is completely flat. Then you're going to push this up just enough room to put your pliers under, and then just straighten your wire back out before you put your focal on it. And obviously you can do this, you can make this as big as you wanted of a spiral. Just factor in that the wider your spiral goes, the more wire it's going to take to go from the last loop back in and through the original loop. So that's all. What are you using? They are flush cutters. They are Xuron. I believe that these are up to 16 gauge half hard. If these don't work, you can also look up, not those ones. Hold on. So here, the Nipex, the maximum cut is 16 gauge. Is the way Linda described it to us. These are actually for electricians. They were not made for crafting or for sparkies, as I believe she said they were called over there. And the red and blue ones are also, but I believe the 1.0 and the 1.2, I can't remember which one of them is slightly stronger. But I very rarely use 16 gauge. But the Xuron ones, I recommend that you check in the description. But I use these to cut like stainless steel and stuff. I rarely ever use my regular cutters on stainless steel wire because it'll break them. So that's why I had these out. And like I said, use the leverage because it hits this part of your hand when you're pushing down, and that's the only pressure you'll have to apply. See, you'll use your first finger just to kind of steady yourself, but you're not squeezing it at all. So even if you have a hard time cutting 20 gauge, 22 gauge, whichever, or you have like a lower quality cutter that has a hard time, try doing it that way. You can do it with any cutters. So like if you're healing from something, you can do, like I have a lipoma right here that needs to be removed that causes like hand cramps and stuff. But like the thought of not having use of this hand has kept me from having it done. Because I'm like, yep, nope, Okay, do we want to leave the cactus just as it is? Or do we want to stick a little flower on top of it first? I don't feel strongly one way or another. Rosanna! No, I did not restart. So here's why we're seeing two videos. While Rosanna is in Scotland, I offered to broadcast to her channel as well as mine, like at the same time. So if you're seeing two videos, it's probably because you're subscribed to Rosanna's channel. And so you'll see the video on her channel as well as my channel. It's literally broadcasting to both right now. And that's also, I don't typically leave the chat up on the screen. I put it on there so that everybody could see all of the comments without having to abandon one channel or the other. So it was just something that I offered to Rosanna because she is amazing. She answers the phone whenever I call, and it's never a problem. She's honest with me in a loving, kind way when I need to hear something that I might not be happy about hearing. She's just amazing. So yes, Lakefront Jewels. Okay, I was worried I was talking to myself. I'm sorry about that. You're like, wait, hold up a sec. What? Hold up, wait a minute. Hello, Rosanna. Did you get some sleep? She's in Glasgow. Well, that was the last update that I got, but aww. So she was in the hotel. I bet. Yeah, you can watch both. If you watch it on Rosanna and wouldn't mind coming and hitting the thumbs up on my video as well, and vice versa, we'd be grateful. I am going to go and do the 3 thumbs up for Rosanna that I normally do, but yes. Hi, Cassie. That's funny, Tina. It was the first, I checked first thing to make sure they'd gotten there. You're welcome, Cheryl. They went to the botanical gardens. That's awesome. Traffic is absolutely crazy. Yeah, you're from a smaller town. You had a nice nap. Okay, good. Yes, Beth will be broadcasting from her channel, solely from her channel, on Mondays and Fridays. But she'll come on at Rosanna's regular time, and I'll come on at my regular time. But then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'll be starting an hour earlier, because the way that it typically is, it was for a very, very, very long time, was that it was Randy and then Rosanna and then me. Some other people are doing videos in that block of time now as well. But so she would normally start at 9 o'clock my time, and I'd start at 11 o'clock my time on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm starting at 10 a.m. my time, which is Pacific Standard Time. Although if you look it up any other way, it just says Phoenix, because we're the only state that doesn't switch time. So we have a special time thing, but yes. Oh, I bet you had a freaking, like, that would not have been good. I'm so happy they found it for you. I know she's been worried about being able to walk. And of course, her and Steve are like the definition of wanderlust. They just love to, like, go look for things and everything. So it's been great. And she had looked up a bunch of, like, activities and sightseeing and this and the weather. And then Steve, on the other hand, was acquiring as many bead shops as he could along in Scotland and then Ireland so that they could go. Rosanna, I sold the little girl. So they paid half today and the rest when they pick her up in September. So you find some good stuff, let me know. And if you want the companion bundle or anything else, obviously. But okay, back to the piece. Are we should we leave the flower on top? You probably can see the mat. Should we put the blue flower on top of the cactus? I'm not going to lie, what I wish the cactus, the flower was like right there. Because I think that would be pretty. Or we could figure out how to put them on top of both spots. I obviously could super glue it. I just don't know if that would be enough, but I think it would be, and that's because, I live here. So I know they're not pink like cactus flowers typically are, but I just think that would be so pretty or something. But you don't like it on top, Leah. Yeah, I like it better when it was just on the two middle ones, and then the other way was like somewhere like right about there or so. Like I don't want it that low. That seems too low. Up here seems too high. So I think putting it centered with like where this little crease is rather than that one. You like the two, one on either side. Yeah, you would. I was thinking of the little bellflowers. Oh, Cheryl, let's see if I can reach them from where I am. Because they're up on my little shelf right here. The bellflowers have been collected. They're a lighter blue, but oh, that's so pretty. I just found some in my stash too, but they're not that color. They were I don't think the bellflowers would pop, and the blooms are on top of the arms. Okay, some little bellflowers. Can you wire up it to the cactus? Sorry, I hit that. That's true, they are white. These little bellflowers, I have some that are just clear though, or are mostly clear. So I could glue those to the tops of the arms. I'll show you. They're almost entirely white. So I will feel better about gluing those on top there. And I'll just do a butterfly veil here. And we can just keep the flowers up into the necklace. But you're absolutely right, Rosanna. So there's two little white bellflowers. As you can see, I still have like thousands of these, and I've sent them as free gifts with purchase for over a year now. Okay. Now that there are more people on, what does everybody think about instead of doing scoops during the sale, I would do they'd still be scoops, but they would be by weight during the sale on Saturday. Let me know what you think of that. I'm going to use, I actually want to keep this bail really teeny tiny. So I don't need to put anything through it. So I'm just going to do a loop around once. You know, I like to come and pull it tight to make sure that my loop is the right shape. And then I'm going to come up and I'm going to put another loop. Come on. But I'm going to make sure the wire is on the alternate side of the center wire. Again, I'm going to come make sure my loop is nice. And then I'm just going to wrap, keeping, I hate that noise. It's like nails on a chalkboard to me. I don't know why, it just is. Okay, let's see how that looks. That looks pretty. I like it this way. This way, they almost look more the same size. On this one, they're just offset. So I like that. I'm going to go, I need to take it around just so it's on the side of this loop. And then it will look correct. Because it doesn't look like the one side was cut. And then I'm just going to go in and cut. And if you've never seen me do the butterfly bail, I will show you what it is and why we call it that. This way. So I'm just going to take one side at a time and just kind of bend it out ever so slightly. And then I'll take the other side and I will do the same thing. And when you do that, it ends up looking like a little butterfly sitting on top of your focal. The back is crossed over one side, and it's, there we go. Now it's not crooked. Typically, I put a little spacer bead or one of the beads from the project here in the middle. I'm not going to do that today. That's why I made the loops really little. Now, I do have a 2mm antique copper ball spacer that I could use. I just don't want to do that with this piece. Okay, now, do we use? I have 3 different blue wires now, thanks to our lovely friend Renee telling us that they were all on sale, and Rosanna gifting me some of the little rolls of wire that she's gotten over the years. So I have this color. That's the wrong color altogether. Sorry. Then I have this one, which I believe, yeah, this is called dark blue lapis. I have that, and I have turquoise. I also have antique copper that we could use. That would mimic this color. So I would say that it's between these two, to me. So which do you guys think? The antique copper or the lapis blue? Weight is more uniform. Okay. What's Rosanna doing? Couple butterflies on their own. Oh, that's a great idea, Rosanna. Dude, okay. Even from Scotland, Rosanna's coming in clutch. Okay, I'm going to try to figure out how to do that because you're absolutely correct. They do come up in multiple, in like blooms of 3 typically or more. All right, I'm going to have to try to figure that out. Great idea. I just got to figure out how to execute it now. Oh, and it looks like I had lofty ambitions and was going to do links, which I know how to do this and can show you. And then you just use a jump ring that's big enough to go over those spirals and the spirals on the other side. Yeah. Okay, we'll address the flower situation afterwards. I think what Hashis. I'm going to have a bunch of Hashis on the sale on Saturday. If you guys didn't see the little sneak preview, I have these. I have these. I have 2 strands of these, and then I have these are onyx, and I have 6mm flat Hashis in this. I have them in Jasper, and I have them in. I'm going to have them in several colors, so we'll have those. And then I have these 4 strands that I'm probably going to break up. They're called Pink Australian Zebra Jasper. They're Australian Pink Zebra Jasper. So they're not like the pink and black zebra jasper you find here. It's just like in Australia, it's cream and brown. So this is more of like a mauve and brown, and they're beautiful. But those are all there is, so I'm going to split those up. What are the dark lodge seeds? So these are dendritic rhyolite. These are, he called them marble jasper. I'm going to do some more research on those. These, he has no clue what they are. So I think they are either garnet or garden jasper, like the light pink little beads that we got from Bargain Bead Box, the little flat Hashis, and then they also gave us a full strand of them in 8mm, but these could be used with Unikite. Some of them have very little green at all. This one is almost completely this like pink color. So again, these are the only 2 strands of these, so I snagged them both ahead of the sale. And then he had these 2 that he doesn't know what they are. He thinks they were Riverstone. I got Riverstone, and we'll have it in 4, 8, 6, and 10mm. But then this is also Riverstone, but it has these pink colors rather than being the commercial ones that are just solid beige. So you like the garden jasper with the green? Yeah. Yes, please go lay down, Cindy. Or I mean Lynn. Put some ice on them. It really does help. But yeah, they're gorgeous. We'll have these. If you go back to Saturday, I do it a lot more in depth. So it's completely up to you. I will probably offer some of these. I'll probably do a bundle of those mother of pearl teardrop pendants along with the check glass and whatever that matches them. Really nice. So, all right, let's get. Oh, wait, we need jump rings. What am I thinking? Or no, we don't need jump rings. Why was I even asking about beading wire? Hello. Okay, so I don't think I want to start with the flower. Let's start with these. The only problem is they kind of needed to be done. I'll grab a jump ring. Where's the rest? Okay, this feels like the piece of the 18 gauge. No, it's not long enough to do that. Okay, I'm just gonna make a jump ring. I want to make sure it's strong. So, I'm not going to pull the drill out or anything. I'm just going to twist these two 20 gauge wires in order. Well, that was really perfect. For it to be stronger, and then I'm just going to cut one that is the third step. I'm just going to use my pliers to set the twist just by giving this like a light squeeze. Then I will open this, put this through. Oh, I might have to do it with my drill. All right, we are just going to make a jump ring using this thicker bare bronze wire around the third step. That will be easiest. Okay. Put this through the veil like so. Put one of these on either side. Where are my other pliers? And close it up. Then we will take one of the flowers. And we will open it, put it on that link, and close it. Then I did not close that. Can you tell I don't ever use simple loops? If you didn't already know that, you do now. Yeah, that's going to be pretty. Open this simple loop, thread it onto the bronze flower bead, open the other side. Kind of hard to see which side is open, and connect the howlite, magnesite. It's one of the two. Grab another flower. Originally, the plan was I was going to color block the faux white turquoise, we'll call it, because that's easiest. And that was going to be, but I kind of like the way it's turning out. And I'm not going to need as many of these, so I can use them as like a bracelet and attach the flowers to it, although that might be a direct connect piece, and then I can just do one. I can do more than one. Okay. Sorry, I know that's an annoying noise to some people. I apologize. Not trying to annoy anyone. And then I think this will be it, actually. Do I want one more of the cream? I think I do. Sorry, I'm not on the chat. I apologize. I was just trying to get this going. So we had a finished piece that didn't take 5 hours. I also need to record the loop video today. I only used 2. I have 2 left. Is anybody else not sure about the bronze flowers being in this piece? I kind of just want to take them out altogether and just replace them with these links or these links. What do y'all think? I'm going to take it out and see what I think. I want to be sure because obviously I don't want to keep opening these simple loops. And they might even get changed out to wrapped loops after we're done here. I'll just swap it out. I like that better. What do you guys think? Yeah. I feel like the bronze beads are too dark brown for this. Because this is more like a coppery brown color. It's not the dark bronze. So yeah. I will likely switch these out. Or I will do these flowers as wrapped links later. Just to make sure that it's more secure Yeah, that's so much better. Okay. Yep, that's what we're doing, folks. Oops, these loops are messed up. Can't go a little bit. There we go. I love these bronze flower beads. Don't get me wrong. They're gorgeous. They're just not right for this. In my humble opinion. And I don't know that I'll keep it this length. I already have some pre-made links in this bronze wire in my link box, which is something I would recommend doing. You can't get to your bead table. Just start making links. Yeah, that's so much better. That was the right move. See, that's something that if everything was planned out ahead of time, that it wouldn't be seen. But I think one of the things I want to do is increase your confidence as well as my own. And encourage you that if something doesn't look right, it's okay to change it. And if you're making a custom piece for someone, it has been my experience that they appreciate the fact that I go back to them to tell them, look, I was working on this. I wasn't really happy with the way it looked as far as what we had discussed. Here's the option. And they are more than okay with you doing that. It just shows the passion and professionalism that you do for your customers. So I will have to make, I think, one more of these after this link. But then we should be good to go. And when I swap out the flower links for a wrapped loop rather than a simple loop, I will just direct connect everything at that point in time. Because if I'm going to take the simple loop out, it doesn't really make sense to then use jump rings. Because then you're basically just doing the exact same thing you just undid. So it wouldn't make a lot of sense. This loop is not centered. There we go. As you just saw, sometimes I make adjustments. I like doing wire links because then you find little things that need to be altered, changed, whether the loops aren't centered or whatever else. I may do that little triple loop-de-loop. If I can, I might just have to either that or I'm just going to have to squish the butterfly veil to being a little bit smaller. Because that might just be it. Yeah, that was the problem. Okay. That's all it was. The butterfly veil was just too far open. Yeah. This would have looked pretty too if these were like pearls. I say as I open my link box. Like that would have been pretty with the blue too. If I have enough, there might be a little strand right there with the thinner Hishis that I have. Okay, I have 18 gauge jump rings in here. Hey, hey, hey. Look at that. That was a nice little find in my. That's the other thing that I'll make. I'll make jump rings. I can't ever twist just one jump ring. I always have to do a few because otherwise it feels like everything, like the excess wire just got wasted. There's those, how I altered that one ring. Instead of turning them like into the jump ring, I turned them out and then put them together. And this is the one that I showed. But I like to do dainty little links. I have, so I can use this for the chain up around the back of the neck. But like when I wanted to use chain on the other piece, I didn't even like have to go like sit there and make them all. I already had some made. Here's a chain all connected with the lobster clasp already on it. So when I say that like it comes in handy to have like these links, that would be kind of cute. Maybe I would need to vary the sizes closer together. These were obviously wrapped a while ago. But if I did a couple big ones, like did two little ones, a big, two little ones, that should be enough chain for up around the back of the neck. So two, and then these. Okay. Hi, Sonia. Sorry, I was scoping through loops. And I put that a box away like I'd cleaned up my environment. No, Heather, you still have a ways to go. I need to make one more little link. And then I should just do what Becky does and wire on the spool. I just don't know how she figures. Like, I don't know how she does that. I don't like the way that feels. But if I do just the first loop, then I know that I cut enough for both loops. One, two. If you've never used a peanut bead before, I recommend that you have it horizontal when you go to make the other loop. It makes it easier to wrap. Because if it's long ways, then your loop is there's your loop is going to be off centered because of the length of the bead that way. I hope that made sense. Sometimes I tell you stuff and I'm like, I hope they understood what I was saying. There we go. Okay, one more flower, one more link, and then we can add the chain bit, and the necklace will be finished. I will probably make a coordinating necklace with some little pearls. I think that will look pretty. And that is a matching set as a coordinating set. Like just like that. I think that looks really pretty. Maybe pop the bronze flower in the middle or have it hang that way. I don't know. I love pearls, so anytime I can use them, I'm gonna. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have 2 larger ones. This is in the wrong place to start. I want the bottom of the link. I want the smooth to be the bottom of the link and the other to be the, this is, I don't know what's wrong with this jumping, but it's not closing right. So I will grab a different one. Sometimes it's good just to put on a good audiobook or what I prefer, which is blasting my music, and just sit down and make a bunch of links, because inevitably as you're doing so you're going to get some ideas, but also just to kind of maybe quiet the noise in your head. That is not brown, that is dark purple wire. Just like I do that when I have anxiety or whatever else. Sonia. Oh no, sure. I know she measures with her finger. I meant when she sticks all of the beads on, that's the other big one. Where did my other little ones go? Here's one. This is the last one for this side, but But sometimes you just have to, what I call, zone out for a bit. Yeah, I like that. That's really pretty. I like the little bit of the larger link in the middle. If we even need that long of chain, which I will measure in a moment. Here's one of the smaller, but I need 4 for that size. I thought I pulled them all out. I must have pulled them out and picked them right back up too. There's 2. Okay, just to show you, I'm not going to use it. But you can also use a bigger loop if you don't want it to be so narrow. If you go to a larger, it's like this is done with the second step over the first step. And that's the alternative. That's what it would look like. And it changes the look of it just by that one subtle difference. So even if you're somebody that may not be confident enough to like try creating your own link, you can make variations to the ones that you see other people make and just kind of make it your own. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Okay, there's those 4. And then we have 1. Do I end up only using 1 marker? Yeah, but I might use the second for the class. Okay. Back to the jumper. That was the wonky one, Heather. I don't know why, but in quiet moments sometimes I get the like Nintendo music sounds, like the I don't know why. Probably because I've heard that sound forever when my kids were little. But that's what that little, I don't even know what to call it. That's where that comes from. My humming. I'm excited to know that I have that whole thing of gold chain already correct, already all put together for a project in the future. I want to try to switch out the metal color from antique bronze and maybe take it, or antique copper, because I also think this month's color scheme would look nice with I think that's the wrong size jumper. It is. That one's too big. European flag. Here's one more little one. So that'll take care of that one. But then I still have, where'd my other small link go? Why do I feel like I keep putting out the links I need and then picking them right back up. There's some more smaller rings. That one's a purple one. Okay. There we go. I don't know. I feel like this video is going to end up being like a part one. Go change out the laundry. Sit down, watch part two of it. Go marinate the chicken for dinner. Part three. For those catching it on replay, I should remind everybody that they can also watch this in double speed for the moments when I'm just sitting here chatting at myself. Though they'll be able to see all the comments. I haven't seen them all. I will be reading them probably afterwards, because I'm sure I've missed so much while trying to finish putting this together. So pretty. Okay, all these links need to be put back away. But now you can see that when I say that there are times I just sit down and make a whole bunch of links, this is what I do. And then sometimes they're made into chains, and sometimes they're not. I am, though, just going to use a lobster clasp. Normally when I wire work, I like to make my clasps, but where's my clasp thingamabobber? Okay, where's the one with camera? There. I will probably see if Bernie has some of this wire down in the shop that matches, because this is more the antique brass color, not the antique bronze color. So if he has it in 18 gauge, I will get it and just make it a slightly bigger jumper for the other side of the clasp, and then we will be done. I kind of hoped that we would have gotten more done than just this, but like I said, I will probably do a coordinating piece to go with it, but we've already been here for 3 hours, so let me bring you up. I will put it up on the bus to show you all. I liked it this one because the last one, it's not quite even on here. There we go. I just like the blue flowers. I'm gonna have to figure out how to put the flowers on top. That part I don't know yet. If I'll do it with glue or wire or something. I have no idea. But I'm really happy with the way it came out. I did make all of the wire wrap links here, so that took a little bit of extra time. She requested it. Oh, wait. Wait, I want to see what Bishop say. How do you guys connect the fastener to tiny joints? I find I make it myself. Um, and okay, I will figure it out. I like the way that this turned out. I think it's very pretty, the blue with that color with the bronze wire. I really like the way that it turned out. I will be back tomorrow, either just tomorrow evening. If I'm feeling up to it, maybe I will go live tomorrow morning as well. It will just depend. Um, and Cassie, that's the beauty of making your own jump ring or making your own jewelry. If something isn't your taste, you can make something. You can't find something that's your taste, you can create something for yourself in your style. Maybe you don't like the cactus, but there's nothing saying that this can't be have a completely different pendant on it or not one at all. This could literally be a necklace with just the link. So it's all good. I would like to make the figure egg. Carolyn, let me show you what I would. I'll show you exactly what I would do. Hold on, just 1 second. Yeah. So I did this with the strawberry necklace that I made for Selena. I literally made, it didn't have to be quite that big. I made a little loop out of 24 gauge wire, like so. And I wrapped, I didn't do this with, I did it with, hold on. That's not what I did. I don't know why I just cut I did it with enough wire and then I undid it and rebent it. I don't know why. So I would just do it on the smallest part. And then what I did was I went around it 3 times. Like so. I cut that piece of wire off. I went ahead and I bent it directly above the other loop. I went ahead and I made my loop on that side. And then I took the wire and I wrapped it over the top of the other wire, creating one of those little, the figure 8 connectors. This is basically a figure 8 connector. It just has wire loops in between it. And there's nothing saying that you have to do 3 wraps over the top of each other. You could do 2 from one loop and 2 from the other loop and have them meet up. But then both sides of it are wrapped loops. So so it's not gonna like pop out. Whereas the figure 8 are just are basically just 2 connected jump rings together. And so then this part can be opened, and it can also be opened on this side. So that is why I would wrap it. You could even just wrap this one side, and that'll give you a little bit more strength, just having that one little wrap. But I would do with 3 wraps. Yeah, and it won't break either. I hope that helped, Caroline. I mean, Gracia, I apologize. Anyways, everybody, as I said, I guess I never put my face back up on the screen after I stopped taking my medicine. Sorry about that. I hope you guys all enjoyed this. If you wouldn't mind hitting that thumbs up. And who's ever channel you watched it on, if you can pop over and give that like to the other person, that would be great. If you could just like leave it on in the background where you go about your business, that would be even better. But I'm just glad that we were all able to come together and that I can do this. Okay, I'll go check out today's bundle. All right. Go watch that, everybody. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, until next time, happy beading.